Hey, it's your girl KV back with another review, another two reviews for Love and Marriage Huntsville. I be forgetting. I be forgetting. So we got episode 13. I think it was 13 because they had that holiday episode or something. No, 14. 14 because of the holiday episode interrupted. Because I ain't do the review before that neither. But season 10, episode 14, Nail in the Handbasket. Just about this whole episode was the ladies. It was exhausting. Letitia Scott. I said, they can't stand each other on this cast. My lord. We see Mel going downstairs to Chris in the theater room. She mad that he ain't have her back the other day with the kids. He like, have your back? Like, we were having a conversation. Like, you want me to just haul off and slap somebody? She said, yeah, I would like that. Nell needs therapy. She's truly insane. There wasn't even a side to take. Like, this was literally her child laying on the cross and saying, you are right, mama. I need to grow up because I haven't learned my lesson because you always save me. So stop saving me. Stop saving me, mama. Because if you keep saving me, I ain't never going to learn, okay? Don't bail me out. If I go to jail again, don't bail me out. Don't give me back my dogs. Don't do nothing for me because I ain't learning nothing because you keep scooping me up before I can even realize I'm hurt. You feel me? You know when a baby fall and you be like, oh my God, are you okay? And they be like, no, I'm not actually. Ah. Versus if a baby fall and you just like, and they get up like, and go on about their day. You feel me? Let him get up on his own. That's what the conversation was. And she just wanted to yell. Yeah, you know, we be doing too much sometimes, but one person is doing more than everybody and y'all know it. Yeah, that's what this whole conversation that is literally what we're talking about. And she just hauled off and started yelling and wanted somebody to say something because she started crying. Girl, you always yelling and crying. Do we always gotta yell because you yelling and crying? Now I gotta yell. It's like black people in the Boondocks episode when they throw the chair and niggas just start fighting randomly. That's what she wants. She wants when I start crying, you just need to lay into all of them. Girl, go see somebody. Go lay back and just pour out your heart, okay? Because, girl. He apologizes if she thought it was wrong. She said, yes, you was dead. That's wrong. I said, oh my gosh. I can't see how he did. Kimmy, Tisha, and Destiny meet at Black. Kimmy, they said, like, you know, all work. She like, oh, I need a girls' night. I need a girls' night. And she says that it's just been a whole lot of work. She says to Tisha, these boys about to go off to college. These boys about to go off to college soon. And Destiny says, mine is about to start kindergarten. They're like, whoo. They're being all vague about their personal life, of course, but they just want to talk about the drama, okay? That's why they have to keep the fight with Nell going strong because they don't want to discuss their personal life with each other. They're showing more and more on the camera as we see, but they don't want to discuss it amongst the group, which I mean, y'all ain't friends, so I guess can't be mad at that. But Tisha is just, oh Lord, she is insufferable. Destiny lets them know that Chris told her, because she had that business meeting with Chris and Martell, Chris told her that Nell felt like she was being ganged up on. And so she was just kind of like, oh, well, you know, she said it was y'all. She said it was y'all. But then she said, well, she said I was in on it too. But I was just holding her accountable. They were like, that's the point. We were all just holding her accountable. And Destiny's just kind of like, I mean, and Kimmy's just like, yeah, no, in a discussion. Destiny says that they don't know Nell like she does. Nell had recently lost her mom and just really hasn't been herself. But Nell guided her through being engaged, getting married, her marriage, having her baby, and divorce. Like, she's been there through it all. And I'm like, Maybe you need another mentor that would have told you not to get married. Because, baby, I saw through the camera when we first saw you and your husband when y'all met with Mel and Martell. Just the way he was, it was like, it's not giving compatible. Like, y'all don't even need to be in a relationship, let alone married. Like, he had a problem with everything about her. Like, everything that made Destiny, he was like, yeah, we're just gonna have to change that though. It was just like, that man even had a problem with her. Am I tripping? Wasn't she the one that wanted to like keep her last name? Because like family issues and she didn't want the last name to die for something like something. Am I tripping? I just feel like he was against everything about her. And the fact that she went on to still marry this man, it was wild to me. But yeah, maybe that's the problem. But yes, she loves Nell. Tisha don't like that Nell be coming for her marriage. Destiny act like, oh, I hate being in the middle. But you run the bone. You purposely run the bone. And I get it. Production does, you know, tell him what such and such said. Tell her about her. I know that they do that, but it's still like a, girl, you don't deliver it in a way that wouldn't cause mess. Like, you bring it up like, oh yeah, girl, I should have told you that, but I'm gonna tell you now. She said this. It be like, girl, you want a fight to break out, talking about she hate being in the middle. So Destiny decided that she's having a girls trip. So y'all, let's park it right there. So when she said girls trip, I'm thinking, oh, you know, Nashville, like a little road trip, a little Nashville, a little Texas or something. This girl said the winery. I said, baby, that is not a trip. A day trip? She was a day trip. Because I was like, so is the winery the invitation to the actual trip? Like, what does this winery got to do with anything? What's got to do with the trip? Oh, this is the trip. Baby, trip to a winery. Day trip to a winery. This is not a trip, girl. That messed me up. So she lets them know about the date that she had with Will and how he had the picnic basket of show and tell items to let her know more about himself. She wants to steal that and do it with the ladies at the winery. So she get them some baskets. The funny part was, which has been, I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like Disney, you ain't gonna have no meeting at my bar and try to make me pay for it. This your meeting. This your link up. This your link up, girl. Go pay this tab. Talking about Tisha got it. Girl, you tried it. Destiny takes Nell to make floral arrangements. My mouth feel like extra juicy. She want to make sure that she feels loved because of how Crazy Festivities got, you know, the game night. She updated her on the convo with the others. Nell was just like, in the moment, she was talking about them, but she feel like Destiny was in on it too. I be blanking out. It be the same conversation over. So yes, child. She said that she's just spent dealing with her own life, and I'm like, whoo, child, aren't we? Oh, she got time for it. She got the daycare. She got her own kids. She got her own marriage. She just got a lot to be worried about than to be fighting with these girls all the time. She also tells her about the winery trip and gives her a basket. And she like, who you go out with this time? Who the day was with this time? And she tells her it was with Will, and she had a good time. And Nell busts out laughing because Nell is just like, who this girl dating everybody in the crew. Nell just laughing, but Destiny's like, listen, I'm being serious. I'm being serious right now. Your basket is the only one that came with something already in it, and I got you a Bible. I got you a Bible because you ain't the same, girl. You ain't the same. I appreciate you and all that you've been there for me. But you've been in the shell since your mama passed. And I just want you to let them know you like I know you. Okay? Open up to the room. Girl power. Real sisterhood. I said, oh, okay. Heartfelt. I mean, so was everybody, so if we talking about, well, I guess, because I'm thinking how Nell and Destiny was clearly friends before she started dating the son, and that's why she felt the way about dating the son. And I'm like, Ashley and Sharice, is that you? Okay, let's get to it. We got two episodes to review. When we at? When we at? They get to the winery, y'all, because the winery is the trip. It is, and it's just one. I'm sorry. Tisha said riding with Nell was like riding with Trisha. Trisha said riding with Nell was like riding Miss Daisy. So I'm not saying she drives Miss Daisy. I'm just saying, that's what it felt like. So she over there bored. Destiny's in the van with Tisha and Kimmy. Not she bored. They was having conversations, but Trisha gives turn up. So they get to talk. If we're here with Destiny, Tisha, and Kimmy, they get to talking about the game night and they just want to have fun today. And Tisha asks Destiny, well, did you tell her she owe me an apology? Huh? Did you tell her? Did you tell her she owe me an apology? And Destiny's like, why would I tell her that she owe you an apology? Did I tell you that you owe her an apology? Like, girl, what? Because Tisha really thinks that she has no wrongdoings in any of her situations. It's truly baffling, right? Truly baffling. So Destiny's just like, girl, whew, you getting on my nerve. You making my head hurt. And I'm in my head like, Destiny, you the one that started all this being a bone carrier, okay? They weren't going to give you a spanking if you didn't say it. They was just going to have to get it out another way. You could tell somebody else, then they could tell her. Like, you didn't have to carry that bone like that, right? So Destiny's just like, you know what? It's the perfect time to pull over. Let's pull over. And she goes and swaps out with Trisha. Makes Trisha go over there with them and go so she can talk to Nell. And so she was like, well, what happened? What happened, y'all? Why we switched cars? We was holding her accountable. After Destiny get over there with Nell, she's talking about how she went out with Twan. They had a business date and they talked all night and they shut down the place and stuff. I said, she liked Twan. That's why it was silly of her to go out with Will. Like, now you just making yourself look silly. Like, I used to be like, y'all get off of Destiny. My mom was like, that's trashy looking. I'm like, it is, but I mean, I feel like Destiny and Lance, she wasn't really interested in him like that. She was just going to date him or bring him around just for the sake of having somebody to bring around. She don't want to bring her real man on this show because we see where that went. Now he married to her old producer, okay? So she don't want to bring no real man on this show. She want just somebody to play with on camera, and that's what she was going to use. Lance said, and then she saw Twan and was like, hello, let me talk to your friend. Talking about she didn't know that was a friend, but you met the boy. You saw the boy at Nell's vow renewal. That blows me. And I hate that nobody ever says that to her when she acts all shocked about, oh my gosh, they're god brothers. Well, he was at the mom's vow renewal, so I figured he had to be a cousin or something. Like, nobody ever says that. But okay. How did I get there? The date. She tells her about the date with Twan, but they're arriving at the winery at this point, so they gotta talk about it later. So they lushing it up. They got a wine tasting, lunch, and then more wine. Somebody asked how was the ride, and Destiny said it was peaceful. It was peaceful. Tisha said, oh, was it peaceful before or after you switched vehicles? Destiny said, after, with no shame. Tisha gets all offended. Well, thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your honesty. And then Tisha goes on this whole tangent about how she feels like she's mad at Destiny because Destiny let Nell disrespect her. And she feels like Destiny is trying to make Tisha let that slide. And I'm like, Tisha, you disrespect affected her and her husband too. Like, I don't understand why she feel like she's owed an apology when she's not willing to give one. So she's just like, I gotta put me first, Lucius. I'm not gonna worry about you in this drama. I'm gonna put me first. And they asked, what y'all talk about in the car? We talked about how you left us. Destiny said she was just trying to split her time between the ladies and just make it fair. And they're like, okay. But then Tisha just starts barking at Destiny. I truly don't even remember what she was fussing about at this point. She was just like, oh, well, you the one being shady and just doing the most. And Destiny's just like, girl, honestly, I was just joking with you. I don't understand why you being so serious. And you can tell everybody's just kind of like, yes, good. And so she's like, well, let me get out my feelings then. Let me get out my feelings then. Please. We beg. We beg. So then they go through their little show and tell baskets. Only one really worth mentioning. Most people took it serious enough and brought something put in the basket, except for Nell. Hers was completely empty, okay? It was completely folded under. Completely empty. I said Nell. She don't want to share nothing with these people. Tisha brought a golden egg because she has a heart of gold. She brought a friend plaque because something about she a good friend. She got a lot of friends, something. And a little toy snake, y'all. And Tisha and that snake, she just slithering it. Slithering it and nailing this. Do you not feel like a cornball in this? Just slithering at this. Because once you bite me, it's a wrap. Kimmy in her confession like, that Tisha gonna always find a way to be shady. I said, or childish. Or childish. But hey. Destiny wanted to get more out of Nell, and Kimmy backs her up like, yeah, we trying to get to know you. We want you to open up. Let us in. Nell lets them know that she's basically, she don't want to share nothing with them because she don't want them in her marriage and in her personal life. I'm like, girl, you could have been broad with it. You could have brought one of them letters from the daycare and been like, I love kids. I run a daycare. I've been doing it for 30 years. Like, it literally could have been something as simple as that, girl. But she lets them know that she's stretched thin and she ain't got nothing to give. So, hey, it is what it is, okay? Like I said, it was just kind of I get it. I totally understand that she could be emotionally stretched thin and stuff, but you just don't like them and don't want to be around them, but still want to be on the show, but don't want to be around them. So you could have put a something in that basket. You could have put your favorite nail polish in that basket, bro. Like, it just did not have to be all of that. But she ain't making no effort for these ladies. And I can't say, yeah, I can't say I blame them, because why you still want to be around if you ain't going to make zero effort? So Tisha swear that Nell wants a problem with her, and that she's too old to be acting like that, because she be talking behind her back and saying stuff about her marriage. And I said, Tisha, the exact same could be said about you. The exact same. But, you know, they said that they would come to each other at the coffee shop. When they had that meeting, they said, we ain't going to be running and telling that to the rest of the girls. We're going to come to each other face to face and talk about it. And then Nell went right to Destiny and was smack talking Tisha. So the fallout is just so aggy between them, because Nell swear they talking about, stop talking about my grandchild. And it's like, girl, but you the one that brought up your grandchild. If you want to walk it back, walk it back. It wasn't my place to be talking about what was going on. Blah, blah, blah. But don't be mad at them for listening and remembering what you said. Next episode, season 10, episode 15. Lay down, stand up. This one was a doozy. First, we start off with Letitia and Marcel. They're at the new scope office. Looks nice. Not quite finished, but mostly finished. Just look like it's like they still had ladders and stuff in there. It didn't look complete. Maybe it was done. They just had to take stuff out and furnish it. But new scope office, right? Tisha's like, oh, this look nice. Okay, we might as well just put 2 desks in there. You're going to be on one side. I'm going to be on the other side because you still haven't finished my brokerage office. Marcel is over her complaining and starts fussing excuses at her and essentially gaslighting this girl because she was like, I remember how this looked when we started my office. I said, what? How long has it been? I thought it was like 2 seasons or somebody said 4. I said 4. 4 years is crazy to be waiting on him to finish an office. So he starts fussing at her about how he's doing his best. And, you know, I'm the one doing the work. You think it's taking long? I'm the one doing the work. And I just need you to basically back me up, have my back. Don't be doing all of this, barking me down about not doing your office. Tisha, you know you ain't a priority for me, girl. I will get to it when I get to it. He says that he's doing his best, okay? He says, see me as a person, okay? And basically not your worker. She's just like, listen, once my office and Scott Manor are done, I won't have nothing to complain about. We'll be comfortable. I can organize, put all my stuff everywhere. We won't be cramped in this space. Like, she don't want to work from home no more. She wants her own office. And she also wants him to give her grace because she's dealing with a lot. They don't speak on her cousin passing, but I'm sure that had to be a lot. She's like, last year was crazy. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure that had to be a lot. Like, I'm sure that it's been crazy. And, you know, people speculate that they're not even really together like that. They're not really living with each other. They already told us it was times when they weren't living together randomly because he was like, oh, well, you know, I have my son at the work sites with me sometime. And sometimes I just come home, bring him home, change clothes, and go back to the work site, sleep there so that I can wake up and get started early in the morning. Right. So she don't understand why the team can't handle 2 different projects at once. Just because they over there working on scope, that don't mean they can't do this and that over here every now and again. And I agree, because it's times where you waiting on a permit or you waiting on some materials to get in or, you know, some stuff like that. You can go slowly work on something over here. Spend a day over here while you waiting on the permit or you waiting on the paint sample to get up, you know, spend a day over here and do something. So I'm with Tisha. It shouldn't take you all this daggone time. And you have your own company. Kimmy and Reese, y'all, they got Junior a car, but it's sitting in the driveway because the deal was he get his grades up, he gets the car. The grades ain't come up, the keys ain't got. I said, and they can very well just left this out because it's not the fun, meaty part of the conversation. But I'm sitting here thinking, like, do y'all have him a tutor? Did y'all get him some help? Is there someone in the class? Like, are y'all just expecting him to study on his own and bang it out and get better grades? Or are y'all equipping him with the tools to succeed? Okay, I didn't hear nothing about, yeah, he been slacking with the tutor or, oh, there's going to be extra hour with the tutor, something. Because my response, my follow-up would be, he ain't bring them grades up. So, we're going to have to get that tutor another day. We're going to go from 1 day a week to 2. I ain't hear that. So, it kind of had me like, did y'all put some assistance on the boy? Like, okay. Apparently, Junior wants to be like Jalen. I laughed so hard. I said, Reese, you should feel the boys that you raised do not want to be nothing like you. Jalen wanted to be like your brother, Marceau, and Junior wants to be like Jalen. Like, that would be a blow to my ego if I was a man and the 2 boys that I raised, because who emotionally with Jalen, Kimmy admitted herself is not there. It lacks, okay? Marceau, that was where Marceau was over there shining, because, hey. So, anywho, He want to be like Jalen, but he don't want to do the hard work that Jalen already had instilled in him to do to succeed. Junior ain't got that, okay? Junior ain't got that. And Reese don't understand. And I'm like, for one, Kimmy raised Jalen and you raising Junior. Let's start there. Every time in the past we would hear Kimmy trying to instill something in him, or hey, you should get up and take out the trash, get up and wash the cars, get up and do something to learn some type of, I got something to do, let me be worthwhile and not waste my time and take life seriously type of deal. And Reese would just offload it on Jalen. Oh, Junior ain't gotta do that. Jalen will do it. He ain't gotta do this. You try to make him do chores. That's what your son for. That's what you and your son for. My son, he gonna go out on that field. He gonna play that football. Yeah, my boy gonna play that football while y'all over here. Y'all gonna take him to practice. Y'all gonna cook his meals. Y'all gonna clean up after him and I and yourselves. And gonna make my food too. And me, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna be having sex with you, girl. I'm gonna have sex with you. I'm gonna tell these kids what to do. And then I'm gonna work. And then I'm gonna club till 3 a.m. sometimes. You know, I'm a busy man. I can't raise these boys. Woo, what are moms for, okay? I'll just be like, Kimmy. Kimmy seems so unhappy. She seems so unhappy. So he's like, cause you know, when I was that age, it was just in me. Nobody had to tell me about this and that. And she was like, yeah, because you were raised in a struggle and that's different. They not struggling. They ain't gotta overcome nothing. And he's just like, I mean, I guess because, you know, at one point my daddy went to jail and this happened. And she tells him that he's not vulnerable and he doesn't take accountability to see that he needs to be better. He can point out everybody's flaws and what everybody else needs to do. But when people do it to him, he's like, no, that's just you. Don't nobody else think that but you. I ain't gotta change nothing. I'm good. That's what he be on. And I'm like, girl, that's the man you married. Okay. She tells him that he needs therapy, and he basically was like, well, they don't have all the answers. They don't have all the answers. And she's just like, yeah, but then you try to blame me and say everything is me, and I gotta blame me too to protect you and not make you look like some evil monster and stuff. But you know, I can't do it anymore. I can't stick my neck out on the line. People are thinking I'm crazy, Reese. I need you to support me, bitch. Support me. He has to be open and accountable to get the lesson in therapy though. And whoocha, okay? He don't want her to get frustrated and unhappy, so he continues therapy. I said, you don't want her to get more frustrated and unhappy because baby, she's there. We see Nell and Fletch have a lunch in the backyard. She's telling him about Tisha and this snake. And all of her antics, and he's like, oh, you owning that? So what does that say about you if you owning that you a snake? She said you a snake. And they're just like, what do you mean? I don't know. And he's like, what is y'all problem even? The problem is you and Marceau and all the mess and rumors, and y'all keep y'all mess up. Now we gotta go to bat for y'all and we gotta question the women. Yeah, ever since Marceau said, who was I in Atlanta with? That's not my back. I don't know what my back look like. It's my back. I don't know if that's my back. I was in Atlanta with Chris. Now they're mad. Like, don't be putting my husband up in here like this. Like, why you out here cheating? And Tisha mad. Like, nobody saying my husband cheating. And now it's just a whole bunch of mess. And now Fletch talking about, well, y'all be the ones be getting girls to sign NDAs. And so it's like, yeah, technically it is the guys keeping y'all in the mess. But Tisha, that's still on you too, because that's your man with the mess. Okay. Tisha has was it a sex therapist? come in there for her and Marcel. Apparently they were only together for a couple of months before they got engaged. I said, oh. I knew they supposedly got engaged fast and then ended up having a baby pretty soon, but I didn't realize it was just a couple of months. Good Lord. And their plan was to learn each other through the marriage. I said, well, let's see how that worked out for you. I don't know what Marcel thought that lady was there to do, but that man was so excited. He ran upstairs, changed his clothes, and he thought that she was going to be putting it in and sticking nipples and balls. And so I said, what did you think she was finna do? And they're like, this is an intimacy couch. We ain't doing all of that. Calm down. So Tisha tells him that she needs intimacy, and sometimes she wants a hug. He basically like, I know you, okay. I'm usually the one asking for a hug because I want you to know that I still love you, something like that. And it was just like, oh goodness. And Tisha goes ahead and admits that she didn't grow up being affectionate. And I said, we've seen Wanda. We're not surprised. I am the opposite. I am so affectionate. We come from a hugging family. My baby is a hugger. In their little winter informal dance recital, she started off a little hugging train when the little girl behind her came down the line doing all good. She was like, you did great. And so everybody was like, yeah, you did great. And so go down the line. I was like, oh, look at my baby starting the hug train. Very affectionate around here. So she said she feels like hugs lead to something more. I didn't understand if that felt like an obligation. Like, she know if he want a hug, that's like, yeah, girl, get naked. Like, she didn't really expound on that. I didn't quite catch the exact gist of like what she was trying to convey with it. So they do this exercise where she's on top, she's straddling him, and she's just hold me. And she admits that her guard is up all the time. She says that she has to defend him a lot. She's exhausted, okay? Every time you turn around, Marcel is doing something to make people scratch their heads a bit. She got her out here fighting every single one of them. She fighting for her life, okay? Give Tisha a little bit of grace, and I sure don't say that often. So he says she lacks confidence in their marriage. I said, girl, let that man cheat in peace. Try to actively fix it, or just divorce. It's just getting goofy at this point. Like, the kids see that they know, they grown enough to know, and it's on TV, so they don't even have to guess because the world is telling them. The world is telling them. This was a very you can tell Tisha knew that she had to make this semi-sexual for him to be interested. Because I'm like, y'all didn't need no sexologist. Y'all needed a real therapist to sit down and talk to y'all about what's going on. I feel like even if y'all lack intimacy, y'all ain't gonna get to the intimacy if the trust and the honesty ain't there. It's just not. So what are we doing here? Go to real therapy and work those issues out. If you can't, the intimacy is for naught. It's for naught, okay? He's telling her that she pays too much attention to the blogs and the comment section. Do you see me defending this mess? Because I don't care. She claims that she's going to stop defending him. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I should have went to real counseling. This was just Tisha getting gaslit into oblivion, which is just, it's Marcel's specialty. You can't even get mad because she walks right into it. It's like she just walks right into it. Later on, I just cringe at the thought of this scene popping up. Later on, we see Kimmy and Reese having a therapy session, okay? They're having a therapy session with this. Were they a couple? I would guess so, because why be paired up if you're not a couple? The marriage menders, okay? Older black couple, beautiful couple, gorgeous couple. They coming by to give them a session. They said it's been a couple of weeks of them talking to them, and now they want to see them in person, just learn their mannerisms and things of that nature. They asked them a question. I can't remember what it was. What do you need out of the relationship? And they both had to hold the piece of paper, and at the end, one person had to have the paper. I was just like, this is okay. If y'all say so. We had a difficult conversation, so I guess it was worth something. But the piece of paper, I'm like, how does that allow, whatever, I don't care. Let's go on. So they asked Kimmy what she wants more out of the relationship. She says quality time. He says more sex. Okay? I was disgusted because I just knew that he was about to just disappoint us. This is the same man who literally made his wife suffer through him penetrating her while she was actively fighting breast cancer. Actively fighting breast cancer. I'm sorry. That is grounds to divorce. It can't even get wet, and you still like, girl, roll over. I got this lube. You ain't even gotta move. Are you okay? Okay. So this is that same fella, y'all. Same fella. He says that, he'll give her more quality time if that time is time for sex. And she's like, well, no. that defeats the purpose. And plus, the quality time that we spend in not having sex is making me mentally stimulated for it. And I feel like it'll make the sex that we do have more fulfilling, so you don't want as much of it. And he just like, no. It's not how that works for me, okay? And then they end up mentioning vacation sex and how like, oh, even when we do have time for sex on vacation, you don't want to do it then. You say, I want to do it too much then. She's like, yeah, because I think you want to do it too much. Like, yeah, that's literally the point. You want to do it too much. And he's like, I mean, 2-3 times a day. I got to kill up 2-3 times a day. And the lady is like, you're really expecting for a woman to be mentally prepared for sex multiple times a day, multiple times a week, just at the drop of a dime. Like, here I am. Like, huh? He said growing up, he was essentially told from a woman, I can lay down longer than you can stand up. Her face was mortified. She was like, who told you that? I said, okay, Portia, who said that? You have been saying that? I said, I really hope this wasn't your mom, because it's giving sex slave and maid. If she literally would say out her mouth, I can lay down longer than you can stand up. We'll revisit that later. But I'm like, if that's what your mama learned you boys, baby, sheer disgust was over her and mine face. Absolutely disgusted. I ain't even gonna say that. So they're like, okay, well, what's the plan? If that's what his thought process is, and you're still with him, what's the plan to proceed? They confused. They have stumped these people. These people don't look like they've ever been so gagged in life. And they're marriage menders, okay? Ain't no telling what they done seen. So they ask, what's the plan and how are you going to give her more time? He laughs and flat out said, it's not going to happen, Doc. And he said, and I'm not giving up sex either. And she gets offended, like, well, why you see that? Why would you just say it's not gonna happen? Why would you say that? Because he doesn't like you, Kimmy. You are a whole to him. And now that the junior is basically about to be out the house, girl, you ain't worth a damn to him but a hoe. It ain't even no kids for you to raise around here. Girl, he don't like you like that. It is really sad and sick to see that he treats his wife like that. And it's one thing that you know what your trauma is and you start to address it versus you just being like, huh, no, this is an addiction. It's unhealthy, actually. So you should actually go to therapy and work on this because it's actually not okay. I'm actually not a toy or a refrigerator. Let's go. So she gets all offended. He says he ain't giving it up. And he's like, you know what? I'm not acting like I go without because that's not the case. I just wanted more. And she's just like, but you need to give it up because 2 to 3 times a day is not normal. That is what she told him. 2 to 3 times a day is not normal. And it's not for people that's got full-time jobs, kids, and chores and stuff. Like, if I still gotta go to work 3 times a day, do you have 3 times a day money? What is this? What is this? I have work. I have things to do. Is the cleaner already? Are we at the hotel because the cleaner is here with a crew cleaning up the house and I ain't gotta worry about that, and that's why we at the house and at the hotel? Cool. But if I gotta get up and cook and clean after that, ain't no motherfucking 3 times a day, child. He opens up about associating sex with food. Okay, he first plainly explains that he thinks of it like going into the fridge. I just go open the fridge sometimes. And they're like, well, why do you keep going to open the fridge? Why do you need so many snacks? He said, because I desire my wife. She's like, no, that ain't it. It's deeper than that, because desiring your wife. I said, exactly. If you desire your wife so bad, you would make sure that 1, she lives an easeful life, and 2, she is enjoying this. You desiring your wife is you wanting her to enjoy herself. You're desiring to get wet. That's it, buddy. Don't try to put it on, oh, I love her so much. If that's the case, you would mentally stimulate her to want to do something to you. Okay? I was just, ugh. And then they get to the deeper part of the food association, okay? And well, no. First they told him that that's only self-soothing. That's not a real fix to you opening up the fridge door constantly, okay? You are self-soothing and it's addiction. It's only a pacifier. Like, you're not really fixing anything. So apparently his family used to lock the fridge when they was growing up, because it was too many kids. They was eating all the food up all the time, so they locked the fridge because his daddy was responsible for 200 and something meals a week because they had all these kids in the house, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I said, he was like, well, why y'all keep having all these kids that you can't feed us? Because your mom can lay down longer than anybody else can stand up. That's why she kept on having them kids, okay? You already told us. Let's see how long she can lay down this year. Why you keep having all these kids? You just told us 5 minutes ago. Because she can lay down longer than your daddy can stand up. So you know what that brings? A whole lot of kids. And you know what that don't bring? Not a whole lot of money. Because she's sitting up, laid up somewhere pregnant. And he having too much sex to go get 2, 3 jobs for all these kids. And I'm not even a therapist. I'm not even a therapist. I am a scientist. And I just gave you all of that. My God. Jesus. So, he says that it made him angry. I said, you're hangry. Hangry, embarrassed, confused. Because, you know, he wanted to be able to take a snack. Food is to be consumed. Why can't I just go in there and eat the food? It's to be consumed. I said, and that's the problem. You're thinking of your wife as a snack to consume. opposed to somebody to enjoy something with. You are thinking of her as an object and not a human being, okay? It's disgusting. And the fact that they aren't pointing that out, I'm like, please let that be on the cutting room floor. Like, somebody had to point out to him that you're equating this living human being with feelings and emotions to an object that has neither. Crazy work. Crazy work. So what did you do? What did you do when you were just sitting up hungry, couldn't go in the fridge, couldn't do this? Kimmy said, tell him about the nudie magazine over on the top of the bathroom. Tell him. And then he just like, oh man. And yeah, when he couldn't go have a snack, he went and had a nut instead. I just couldn't. I couldn't. And all of them they was running the train on the nudie mags. He said, like, when it was missing, everybody, like, all the boys, who had the magazine? Who had the legs? Why are they in the bathroom? Everybody freaking out because everybody hungry and need an outlet. I said, did y'all ain't playing enough sports? Y'all should have been in sports year round. Why everybody got time to just sit up in the house and masturbate all day because they want to eat? Good Lord. It was so So Kimmy ends up saying that she just feels sad and unloved. He claimed he gonna try to be better. He clearly has zero emotional intelligence and he knows it. And I'm like, you married into this. Like, it's one thing if y'all were like 22, 23, getting married and just been together all this time and he ain't never grew up. But y'all was over the ages of 30 when y'all met and got together. So, Kimmy, you should have known that he was too grown to be changing, and whatever his ways was, it was what it was, okay? So the fact that she even married this emotionally unavailable man for her and her son's needs is just, oh, this man has no regard for her comfort, for her life, for her ease of living, for her quality of life. No regard. If you're not raising the kids, cooking the meals, and what you doing, girl? So yeah, it's pray for Kimmy. Let's keep Kimmy in our prayers, okay? That was these 2 episodes, y'all. Ooh, child, made it under 50 minutes. I wanted to try to do it in 40, but 7-8 minutes over. Oh Lord. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment, let me know what I know my child ain't still asleep up there. Comment, let me know what y'all think about the video. And yeah, until next time, y'all. Bye.